All right, well, welcome everyone to this class about Porlana C. It's sheer energy from our galactic family. And Ashira is the one explaining everything about it. And he's talking to Susie on heavenly blessings. So, and it's all through Linda Dillon, amazing channel, Linda Dillon. So let's get started with the meditation. There's an 8-minute meditation for explaining Porlana C. So we'll start with that.
So let's begin by working with and taking a nice deep breath of this Porlana sea energy. And it's not something that you need to go searching for. It's in the very air that's surrounding you. It's moving in a circular motion around the entire planet. And it's very high frequency, life force energy of your star family. The color of Porlana sea is like a beautiful, brilliant, fluorescent blue, part of the Halion ray, part of Michael, of course, part of the Mother. But see this beautiful blue flame, like the blue that comes out of a gas jet or a welding torch. The blue that you see in your third eye right now. And breathe in this blue. Feel your shoulders throw back, pull them back, open up your chest, relax. But feel that rib cage entirely open and your central channel from your crown, from above your crown, from about the 16th chakra on up, down past your root, wide open to Gaia herself. That beautiful central column of your being, crack it wide open. Now breathe and receive this beautiful fluorescent blue. Feel it coming down through your higher chakras, through the roof of your head, the roof of your mouth, your throat, your high heart, your rib cage. Feel it explode and jerk into your Halion center, your solar plexus, your belly button, your beautiful tummy, your pubic, your root. Shoot it on down like a gas flame, down towards Gaia. And let's open up this stream and just fill yourself. And feel each and every one of your chakras being activated, brought to a more rapid pulse, a higher frequency that you feel you've got your hand in the electrical socket, that you're humming. Bring it on. Now feel yourself connecting to our beautiful Earth Mother Gaia, to this ancient, wondrous being, and pulling up that ruby red, that rich red, that life force red, and it's blending with the Porlana Sea. And it's a beautiful, rich magenta amethyst. Pull it up through your root, through your pubic. Don't forget, these are your areas for creation on earth. Into your tummy, into your sacral, into your umbilical, into your solar, into your heart. And feel these intertwining, caressing and dancing like that gas jet with your beautiful tri-flame, with your perfect pink, with the infinite gold of the Father and the infinite blue of the Mother. Feel them juiced up, dancing more brightly, more vitally, more exuberantly. Breathe it in. And open and receive. This is an energy that is penetrating the entire planet. But it is also an energy you can choose to build on, receive more of, and allow the activations to be more rapid. So open your heart. Feel that connection to your star family. This is their life force, their love force. And anchor it. Anchor it in each chakra. Anchor it from your crown down. Crown, third eye, fourth eye, throat, lower throat, high heart, heart. Halion, solar, umbilical. Sacral. Pubic root. Feel it all the way down to the arches of your feet. Feel it fill your bones like an electrical impulse passing through your entire body. It is enervating, energizing, but not exhausting. And let it flow.
So, as I said, Ashira of Neptune, and it's not the Neptune that's in this solar system, it's another Neptune where he's from. He is the commander of the unified forces of the outer galaxies, and in short, it's called UFOG. this is definitely not his ship. This is a picture of a cloud ship that I took outside my apartment. So, but I just didn't have a picture of his ship, which is a mothership. It's massive. It's something like 28 acres, something like that. And so he's going to be explaining about this Porlana Sea sheer energy that the galactics are sending us. And it is actually, it's not blue per se, it's more of a purpley blue, but we'll get more into that. Okay, so within this Porlana Sea, actually, oh yes, Steve.
It's 28 miles.
28 miles, thank you. Square miles, right?
No, just in length.
Oh, just in length. Okay, thank you for clarifying. Yeah, it is massive. Okay, so within the Porlana Sea is a lot of information. So very much what we've been studying. So as you open to it, just know that there's lots of information embedded within this Porlana Sea. Okay, and it really helps us with letting go all the knots that we've tied up within ourselves, any kind of resentment where we haven't forgiven something or we're holding on to old energy. So just know that it's, you can see up here on this being, there's a bit of blue energy, but literally you can feel the Porlana Sea, that purpley blue, throughout your whole system. It's very electrical. It feels really good. So yeah, to just open to it. It's trying to describe it. It's effervescent is what it feels like to me. It's almost bubbly, but not. It's electrical. Okay, so I wanted to go over exactly how he explained it, just so you can see it in words. This is on the left. This is the color. It's more purpley blue. So it's not something we need to go searching for. It's in the very air that's surrounding us. It's moving in a circular motion around the planet. And it's very high frequency life force energy of your star family. The color of Porlana Sea is like a beautiful, brilliant fluorescent blue, part of the Halion ray, part of Michael, of course, part of the mother. See this beautiful blue flame, like the blue that comes out of a gas jet or a welding torch. And he said that we can see it in our third eye. Breathe in this blue, feel your shoulders throw back, pull them back, open up your chest, relax, but feel the rib cage entirely open. And your central channel from your crown, from above your crown, about the 16th chakra. So if you look over to the left here, it's that golden chakra about 3 feet above the head, and on up and then down past your root, wide open to Gaia, that beautiful central column of your being. Now breathe and receive this beautiful fluorescent blue. Feel it coming down from your higher chakras through the roof of your head, the roof of your mouth. And if there's any blockages within there, you'll feel it. And the roof of the mouth is amazing. Okay, so your throat, your high heart, your rib cage, feel it explode and jerk into your Halion center. So that's right below your heart, your solar plexus, your belly button, your beautiful tummy, your pubic, your root. Shoot it on down like a gas flame down towards Gaia. And let's open up this stream and just fill yourself and feel each and every one of your chakras being activated, brought to a more rapid pulse, a higher frequency, that you feel like you've got your hand in the electrical socket that you are humming. So yes, it's very gentle humming, how I felt it, but electrical. Okay, and then she says, feel yourself connecting to our beautiful earth, Mother Gaia, to this ancient, wondrous being, and pulling up her ruby red, that rich red, that life force, and it's blending with the Porlana Sea. So now it turns into that magenta of the third eye. Pull it up through your root, through your pubic. Don't forget, these are your areas for creation on earth. So the pubic, the tummy, into your sacral, into your umbilical, solar plexus, your heart, into the beautiful tri-flame, your perfect pink, the infinite gold of the Father, and the infinite blue of the Mother. Feel them juiced up, dancing more brightly, more vitally, more exuberantly. Breathe it in and open and receive. Okay, so now that magenta amethyst is the color of wisdom. It's also one of the colors of compassion, and it's a component of beauty as well. So just know that like there's a lot of information embedded within this Porlana sea. Open your heart, feel that connection to your star family. This is their life force, their love force, and anchor it. Anchor it in each chakra, all the way down to the arches of your feet. Feel it fill your bones like an electrical impulse passing through your entire body. It is invigorating, energizing, not exhausting. Let it flow. So yeah, it's an amazing energy to just fill your whole system with. Okay. So this channeling came through January the 3rd, 2017 through Linda Dillon, channel for the Council of Love. And it's from Ashira. So he says, greetings, I am Ashira. I am Ashira of Neptune. Yes, commander of the unified forces of the outer galaxies, UFOG. We welcome you in this time of change, of excitement, yes, at moments exhaustion, and what you have learned is fulfillment. There is so much that is transpiring upon your planet of Gaia and so far beyond. I am honored and pleased and excited to come this day and to speak to you as my family, my friends, my allies, not simply of matters of universal importance, but more, I guess you would say, of our part, our positioning, and what we are doing. So this is our star family. You have been penetrated and are being penetrated continually by the mother tsunami of one, and so are we. These electromagnetic pulses that are being identified and noticed, that is putting it mildly, upon your planet are impulses that are being sent to us. Yes, the unified, sent by us, yes, the unified forces, but it's also being done in tandem and in cooperation with many of the fleets. It is a benevolent, non-intrusive, yes, we do use that word very specifically, according to the regulations, I guess you would say, of the Intergalactic Council, who also, by the way, sends their greetings. But it is a non-intrusive energy that we send to you. It has not been felt previously, and I mean ever, upon your planet. It is an energy that has not heretofore been shared or made available to you because you were not ready and you were not of a construction or of a light quotient, either individually or collectively, that could truly incorporate the level of this energy without harm. It would have been too intrusive, and your body cells, your atoms, were not organized in such a way as to be able to smoothly incorporate this energy. But now you have advanced, and of course, while the energy, which by the way, I wish to preface, this energy is what you can think of and what we would call by two terms: sheer energy, which the Council of Love has spoken of for decades, but also the energy specifically in our scientific terms is called Porlana C. That is the term for this energy, and it is important for all beings upon the planet to understand the gift that is being sent and rendered unto you. It is a gift of love, and that is why we will often use the term sheer energy. It is the energy that we use that you can think of as life source energy, a soul source energy, a fully interdimensional energy that is a significant upgrade to assist you in the full assumption of your light bodies and of the quotient of light required to complete your ascension. We are not interfering. Let us be clear about that. But this is something that the mother and through her, the father, have given acknowledgement and permission to share with you. It is the energy that we use to create, but it is also the energy that sustains much of our very being, not in totality, but shall I say for you, it is like the fuel of food. Now, it is not that we don't eat food, but the life force is Porlana C. You can see how important this energy is. If you wish to envision this energy that we so graciously, generously, and humbly share with you, send to you, you may think of it as a very fluorescent blue. In fact, it is the blue that is part and parcel of your Halion chakra. And it is not simply electro blue or electric blue. It is the Porlana C, which if you've seen a gas stove or a gas flame, it is similar to that, but a lot more of the violet built in. The violet flame of Saint Germain is akin, related to this Porlana C, but there are significant scientific variations in the quotients, etc. We are sending this to assist you as your family, as your comrades, as your colleagues, as your friends, to assist you in this journey. Now, one of the reasons that I, as commander, have asked to step forward at this time and share this information is I do not want there to be misunderstanding, but from our perspective, from our hearts to your hearts, this is a gift of monumental proportions. Yes, it is clearly measurable by what you call scientific equipment, and that is important because it is yet another step in the human race and those who want to announce or admit our presence, but have not had enough evidence to push the wave of non-acceptance away. So it is yet another component of how we are announcing ourselves. But we are not simply giving you this energy to announce ourselves, although that is a huge benefit on both sides. It is of such a magnitude that I, as commander, step forward, yes, in tandem with the Intergalactic Council and the many fleets, to say this is our present to you. So it is not simply a small token sent in the mail. It is a sheer energy that is enveloping your planet in a circular fashion, so that all is encompassed, all is received. Each of you is feeling, particularly those of you who are sensitive, perceptive, open, each of you is feeling this in a different way. But even within the collective, there is no denying the magnitude of the gift. If you wish to intensify your personal receipt of our gift to you of this sheer energy, Porlana C, what you would do is open your crown and to feel as if you have literally that your central corridor from your crown to your root, so that's your root chakra at the base of your spine. And yes, you can continue into Gaia, for she is like a sponge in this matter, to simply see that you have been cracked wide open and your entire chakras, your meridians, your central column is being filled with this blue fluorescent energy. The energy that we are identifying to you as Porlana C is of a very electromagnetic nature. This is how we operate. This is what we do. And so in a personal sense, what you are doing, when you are doing your individual work, which we, by the way, do on a regular basis, all of us who are on board ship, you fill yourself with this energy because it is sheer energy. It is sheer life force. And it is an energy of such a nature of an octave that you are now able to incorporate it. So there will be no dissembling of some essential functioning of your body. Many who are healers or in the healing professions have been subtly aware of this energy, but now will begin to more rapidly or readily incorporate this into their being. So this is the reason that I step forward. And one of the reasons, not only that we want you to know how we are working with you, is that there has been a modicum of fear of those who embrace the theory of Armageddon or disaster with these pulses coming to the planet. The sheer energy, while its sole function or its primary function is not clearing or cleansing, but rather an infusion, it does have that effect, because you cannot be filled with what we term life force sheer energy if there are other blockages apparent or in the way. So it is also with Gaia, with the kingdoms, particularly the animal kingdom. If there have been areas where grief or desolation or murder has been stored, then they will be coming to the surface. But the most dramatic, if you choose to look at it that way, will be within the human species. That is why we encourage those who are ready to incorporate it more fully into their being, rather than on the subtle level that is being sent. But this is clearly a choice. That is why we also say that it is non-invasive. So the decision to accept, other than the subtle waves of electromagnetic impulses that are being sent to you, is clearly your choice. Then Susie says, thank you so much for coming today, Ashira. And on behalf of all humanity, I would humbly offer my sincere thanks and gratitude for everything that you've all done. You've just given us so much information. This is electromagnetic energy. Do we need to concern ourselves with EMFs here now? We have concern, we have to protect ourselves from our technology. Could you talk about that? And Ashira says, why would you drop into fear? And Susie said, well, no, I'm just asking a question. But he said, no, but understand. Okay, if we do not call it fear, then we call it strong concern. And then he says, you are shielded from most of what you would think of as harmful electromagnetic frequencies. And I have to say, I feel this. And what he says next is, that has been part of the adjustments and the attunements that have been given to you actually over the past couple of years. If you wish to have a visual, you can think that etherically, many of you are wrapped in layers of cotton batting so that nothing is really penetrating you. And I have to say, that's pretty much what it feels. Because my building has got a lot of EMFs, if you want to call them that, but I don't feel affected by it. So that's really nice to know. Now, when you, and I'm not talking about vigilance or common sense, because that is something we are heartily supportive of, but when there are those who are truly concerned about this, they have need to go back and to have the opportunity to allow these ancient past lives, injuries, when they have been either injured or eliminated or witnessed devastation through the use of these impulses in other times, to be eradicated, because that is where most of the concern comes from. So just like we were talking earlier, if there is any kind of concern or trigger, really to sit still and just ask our guides why, and get the pictures within our third eye to help us let it all go. Because really we're here to let go all fear. And then Ashira continues, now having said that, and I would in other situations defer to some of my engineers, but let me share. By training, in fact, my background was of engineer. That is how, if you want to think of it that way, I ascended through the ranks. It was not simply because of parents or lineage. So Ashira's father is Grenner, and Grenner is, help me out here, Steve, is
President of the Intergalactic Council.
Thank you. Okay. So that's Ashira's dad. But what we have done in the past, 20 years, 50 years, is we have modified many of the electromagnetic frequencies and impulses that are upon your planet, and also those that have been sent to your planet. Now, we have had discussions where we have talked about how we intervene with chemtrails or with flying missiles, and we negate or we soften energy. So much of that is already attended to. Much of what we do with you and in tandem for you as part of our partnership, both current and future, is not known, and that is all right. It is not like we are looking for a thank you note or anything, but let us reassure you. So right now, there are many who are saying be on high alert because there are these very strange electromagnetic impulses coming to your planet. What I am saying to you and my reason for stepping forth this day is to say, first of all, you could not duck it or ignore it if you wanted to, but to reassure you, this is our gift. What we are doing essentially is sharing with you our essence of life force. And Susie says, thank you. I don't know that there's really language to say more than that at this point, but I'd like to share a vision that I've had for years. The sun coupling with the earth and the earth becoming like this blue star planet. And so I'm reminded of that when you talk about the fluorescent blue and breathing the blue. Could you say anything about that? And Ashira says, many of you know the blue star planet. Many of you have the blue star actually as a signature or as an implant within your solar plexus. And you have carried that energy, not simply a symbol, but an energy for a very long time. You can think of this as the imprint or the soul memory of your beloved Galatea. Galatea was a twin planet to Gaia, and in many ways you shared the same physicality, even missions. Galatea was destroyed through good intention by those who wish to uplift the planet. Many of you who are listening will remember this, the coming together to lift and to bring the entire planet and the collective of the people through the portal of what you think of as ascension. Not your ascension, but ascension of a type. But what you did, my friend, was that it interfered with the mother's design of free choice. And the dissonant energy was of such a nature, the incompatibility was of such a nature that the entire planet imploded. Not just those who've been agents of ascension, but all Galateans have carried that imprint of the blue star within them, and the time when it seemed as if the sun and the earth merged. This is important, and I'm glad that you brought this up, because even for those to whom the blue star does not resonate, it is important that all understand that this willingness factor, this choice and decision factor, individually and collectively, is vitally important. So the strategy, and yes, I am commander, so I do think in terms of strategy. So the strategy for the ascension of Gaia, of Earth, of Terra Gaia, and of humanity is of a nature where free choice is intact. Now we have witnessed much of the disarray upon your sweet planet. She is a most patient being, but we have witnessed this disarray. And so what you are doing, each of you, my friends, each of you, my colleagues, my allies, our allies, you are not overriding in any way, shape, or form any person's, individual's free choice, but you are making the pathway of love, the pathway of joy and peace so attractive that that is the choice they make. You are at a time, your collective is at the time, you've already passed that, sweet ones, but you are the way showers. You are at the time of massive redirection, re-choice, redefinition for the collective. That is part and parcel of the gift of the Porlana Sea. It is an amplifying energy of wholeness and of love, a strengthening of will. We must be clear about that as well. If you feel your will has been fortified and brought up 12,000 notches, you are correct. Your sense of direction is being clarified. It is the only way. This energy of sheer energy of Porlana Sea, this energy, okay, it is the only way, this energy of sheer energy of Porlana Sea that we have endured and continued on. So they're allowing the infusion of Porlana Sea, it helps them, it's their life force, and now it's being gifted to us. So in this time of earthly redirection, new choice, re-choice, perhaps rejoice, that you will feel that this is happening and that you're being supported in this way. Is that clear? And Susie says, yes, it's very clear. Is there an end or a transition point chosen yet? Or is that in flux since we are such a dynamic bunch of creatures on this planet? And Ashira says, you are a delightful, supreme collective of creatures. You know, Yeshua and the Mother and St. Francis and Archangel Michael, they have all talked about how they have chosen you, but we have chosen you as well. There are times when you tend to think, and I mean you, the human beings, tend to think that you are a ragtag lot of misaligned individuals. And we see that and we laugh. Sometimes we laugh because it is true, and sometimes we laugh because it is pathetic. And we mean that because we see who you are. We don't play with the future, but we are certainly cognizant of the future, and we see the brilliance of what lies ahead. That fortifies us as well, and I know it fortifies all of you to whom I speak this day, but let me tell you, you are amazing. We have chosen you. Some of us have traveled for thousands and thousands of years to be here at this moment. Now, how we travel is really fast. It's in and out of black holes, white holes. So it is not that there is a voyage lasting thousands of years. That is not what we mean at all. This is not intended to be a movie, but those movies are also signposts for you. That information is very well channeled, so enjoy it. Susie says, I have been enjoying it. I feel like we finally arrived at a point in our evolution where pure faith is no longer all we have to be going on, It's very exciting. Ashira says, you are going, and I'm not saying, nor do I wish to in any way underestimate faith, because it is key, but you're also proceeding with a much larger quotient of knowing. You see, when we say that we don't try and fiddle with the future, but we do operate in a place of knowing, and so do you. So that's that stillness in the heart, in the Father energy, that knowing. Now, does that negate faith? No, and it most certainly increases also the quotient of trust, and it is not simply trust in the unfoldment of the Mother's plan. In very practical terms, it is trust in yourself and trust of each other. And when I say each other, I mean the human beings, the implementation team, the boots on the ground, yes, including our boots on the ground. So that's our galactic brothers and sisters on the ground. We would not be able to do what we do if we did not have this knowing, which has been growing exponentially in your population, but we also operate from a huge quotient of trust. Now think of it, you do as well, only you don't always label it that way, but I trust that the engineers keep everything flowing. In your terminology, keep the lights on, the engines running. That is trust. I trust that our command never injure one another consciously or betray one another. That is trust. These are the realms and the qualities that you are implementing and anchoring within yourself, not merely as esoteric qualities, but as practical living examples of how to go forth as a collective. And I wish to say, particularly to the light workers and light holders, you are stellar. You are doing a job that cannot be done by anyone else. We will do, and we are doing everything we possibly can, but my friends, you are impressive. Then Susie said, I had a vision recently that this planet, I don't know if it was meant to be originally, but it has certainly turned out to be like a petri dish of creating ambassadors for other missions in the universe. And throughout the creation, that because we've managed to navigate the Earth experience, however many myriad times we have, it's been preparation for projects of epic proportions. Ashira says, I would say intergalactic proportions. Yes, there has been a hesitancy on the part of the Council of Love, the Company of Heaven, and certainly our team to talk about this, because our concern has been, and when I say concern, I do not mean trepidation, I just mean the use of cautious behavior has not to overwhelm you, because need I say, you have certainly had enough on your plate. But you're absolutely correct. If you recall what you would think of as long ago, perhaps in 2012 or 2008, which for us is but a blink of the eye. And in the archangelic terms, not even an eyelash is moved. But in those terms, we have indicated that not only is this the first ascension process in the physicality of maintaining the beautiful form that the mother and of course your sacred selves are granted you, but this has been a template, not only the clarification of paradigms and belief systems, but physical restructuring and template of what it means, and that there would be further and future ascensions throughout this universe and far beyond that will be able to go forth because of what is happening here right now. The magnitude of that can be at times overwhelming because you have already felt not the burden, but the mantle of stewardship, the mantle of willingness to step forth in this unfoldment. So we have not talked a great deal about how many of you will choose to go forth to assist other planetary systems in their process of ascension. And in some ways, many of you will be guardians, just like us, in the ships or in form on planet, boots on the ground, in other planetary realities to assist them. So this is like a training ground for the other ascensions that are planned after this one. Susie says, I can see it. Ashira says, yes, you can, because this is something you have chosen. You know that when Michael tells you that there is always more, which he has told us for eons as well, he means it. Susie says, always, always. My daughter and I were talking yesterday, is there an end point? We're feeling pretty clear, but you never know when something else is going to come up and will be triggered into some kind of behavior. And is there actually ever an end point? The answer is, to me, absolutely yes, because does Saint Germain ever engage in bad behavior? I don't think so. And then Ashira says, I will not tell tales out of school. No, I'm only teasing you because he is a dear, dear friend. There is an end point in terms of what you can think of as the old structure or behaviors of the old third, which if you can imagine this as a physical construct, that building disappeared. So he's telling us that there will be an endpoint to us feeling the old systems. So there is an endpoint in that way, but there's always a new adventure. And I can share with you when this issue or this challenge, shall we say, or the temptation of bad behavior is simply gone. It doesn't exist within your molecular structure or your expanded structure. The adventure expands and it is so much fun. That is the thing that doesn't get emphasized enough, and that we are encouraging you to play with us. We play, yes, we've been working flat out on Project Terra Gaia, but we also, it is part of our regimen, our structure, that we play or that we build in leisure, that we build in meditation, that we build in communal time, that we build in sacred ceremony, family time, and staring at the wall time, because all of this is necessary. Susie says, oh yeah, and some of the fun, I imagine. In fact, I know it is. Down here, orbs have been playing with my cats. So I'm sure that's pretty fun for you guys too. And Ashira says there's all kinds of fun, and especially when we play with the animal kingdom, the minerals, not so much. And Susie says, the mineral kingdom, they're so quiet. And Ashira says they are very quiet. They tend to move at a slower pace, but we honor them because they have been literally the backbone, the structure that has held this planet together for so long. And then Susie says, we have some more time. I would like for you to choose the next thing you would like to discuss, because you said you have lots of things to say. And Ashira said, I would like to talk, if I may, a little about language. Talk about a change of pace. You are changing your understanding of language. And you are learning, my friends, how to be more specific and clear, vigilant and careful with how you speak. And that is something we wish to give you praise and kudos for. Now, during the next phase, we encourage you and we support you to take it to the next phase. to more clearly align. And this is a practice, not a criticism. It is advice from a brother. Align with what your heart, yes, of course, in concert with your mind, with your mental body, with the brilliance that you hold, even when you don't know it, align with that truth as well. We are not talking about holding your tongue, for particularly at this point, verbal communication is the primary way that you, and we, by the way, with you, are building community. You have reached the point where you are cautious and vigilant about how you phrase things. So you don't tend to say, even if you're thinking of it, don't be ridiculous. Oh, that's stupid. I don't know. And you will rephrase that as you're advancing into, that's not my understanding, or what about this perspective, or I don't think I can agree with that. So he's asking us to rephrase and come into the balance of languaging. Certainly in the last while, there has been some redirection, but your hearts and the Porlana Sea is going to help with this, my friends. Your hearts are not as opened and as clearly aligned with your language, not only as we would hope, but as you would hope. Now I'm speaking to the entire collective of humanity. Why on earth or Galatea or Electra or CCC would you ever wish to diminish another? For in diminishing another, you diminish yourself. And it is only reflective of what has need to come and be eradicated within you. Now, while it is important, and with the energies that are being sent to you by the company of heaven, by the mother, by us, that these issues will come to the forefront. They are for relinquishing, not for acting out. When you, in your mind or in your heart, naysay another, you are naysaying and diminishing your sacred self. And what you're doing in that is that you are dismissing or rejecting the potential of genuine relationship, of sacred relationship, even with a stranger, of that potential for true union. And that is the way, of course, that the ascended being acts, feels. And you say, well, I will wait until I ascend, because in the meanwhile, there are plenty of jerks around. And he says, no, my friend, that's not how it works. So when you find yourself in this situation, yes, it sometimes is good if you're not through your cleansing process to simply switch to Pero, which is, of course, the language of simple facts. But simultaneously, or even after the fact, when you have a moment to look at your heart, to look at what you call your feelings and say, why do I feel this way? I don't want to feel this way, and to let it go. Because in this, you open the door to love. So sometimes I catch myself in situations where I'm not speaking in a balanced way, and later on I'll come back to it and ask questions about it and let it go so that it doesn't happen again. So it's just being super conscious and just realize that it's a gift. Like when you catch it, it's a real gift, so that you can do the work on it, and to have no shame, guilt, or whatever. Just come back to it and do the work and let it go. All beings at one juncture upon this evolutionary highway act in ways that are or can be perceived as less than. Yes, all beings have their jerky moments. That does not diminish their divinity. When you emphasize the lesser, then that is what you are going to get. When you emphasize and acknowledge the divinity, then that is what you are going to get. You are on the brink, and many of you are already clear, very clearly telepathic. That is your next step. Now that passageway, that equipment has not been fully turned on because of these comments that are still lingering in your heart. We are very anxious for that to occur, as I know you are. So this is your friendly commander simply saying you are doing exceptionally well in the advancement of your communication. You are learning the languages that we speak, but check the back door, check your hearts, my friends. And Susie says, it's a good opportunity to be very mindful with not only our words, but our thoughts. Keep it clean. And Ashira says that is correct, because that is what you are building. That is what is so phenomenally exciting. You are building a clean planet in every sense of the word. And we are so excited. And Susie says, oh my goodness gracious, as am I, as are many. I can say we are excited. And Shira says, go with my gift of Porlana Sea on behalf of all. We love you. And that's so amazing that he actually came forth and explained all of that. And what I did here was the Porlana Sea is very much, you know, in the flow of it. So when we speak peace through the throat chakra, just really getting into that balance of peace, love, and joy in the heart. It's a beautiful way to be. And then I was playing around with, because years ago, Sanat Kumara said we were like lighthouses. And Archangel Gabriel just told us that when we're in joy, when we're in that state of being able to be in gratitude and blessing everything, it's like a really strong balancing point. So then I made the lighthouse very yellow, like the scales of balance, but just know that the blue energy of Porlana Sea is flowing through us at the same time. And it's creating, the blue and the yellow create love. And it's really extraordinary what's happening on this planet. So that's that. Let's go, let's come out of this. And back to Zoom. And there we go. Okay. So much information in that one.
Oh.
Yeah. Does anyone have any comments or questions about it?
Yeah, I got a question, of course.
Very good.
What is the relation between the Porlana Sea energy and the energy from the 13th octave?
Well, the 13th octave is that emerald green love. That's what the 13th octave is. It is the combination of the mother, the father creating the oneness, and the Porlana Sea is electromagnetic life force from the galactics, but they're calling it blue. And there's a reason it's blue. It's to get to that place of forgiveness of everything and peace. So
Okay.
yeah. And it's
So-
got
so-
violet mixed into it. Yeah, so it's blue and violet
Okay.
of Saint Germain.
So you're saying it comes from UFOG, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and the fleets that are surrounding the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're monitoring it. Like they're actually literally sending it to us. And
Okay.
and the way that he said it's spinning around the planet, he didn't say which way it's spinning, but that blue energy spins counterclockwise, because it's counterclockwise to wind back the past to get us into the place of peace, so that we do move forward in gratitude in the
Okay.
blessed place. But we need the Porlana Sea to let go all the fear.
All right.
It's literally winding back the past, so we release all the old memories of what has transpired around this project of ascension.
Right. Yeah, I find it interesting that they give that energy out by infusion, so it doesn't overwhelm us, and I've heard that term used before, but this explains it a little better.
Yes, and they said our physical structure wasn't ready to be infused up until back in 2017. So we're in a type of upgrade. In 2017 we were upgraded enough that we could accept it. It could infuse into us, whereas he said before we weren't ready. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty extraordinary. I do know that when it did come out in 2017, I didn't hear the original channeling. I was directed to it. I listened to it over and over, and it made a huge difference at the time. So yeah, I can see now. I understand it even more for sure. At the time, I didn't know what it was doing.
Well, I don't relate to it feeling like electric shock, a socket, because that is really shocking, and it's not gentle at all. So that analogy doesn't really work for me.
It's like, I felt it really strongly right before this. Like they've been working with me for the last couple hours. Like I can literally feel it running through me. And it's like a electrical impulse, very gentle. Like it's not uncomfortable at all. It feels amazing.
So it must be low voltage then.
Oh, it's very low. It's very low voltage, but I felt it before, but not the way I can feel it now. And it's like a humming. It's very uplifting. It feels amazing. So I would really encourage working with it and just knowing it's there, basically, and getting deeper into letting go all fear. If you have any kind of fear about anything, just ask how it's connected to the past. Because it probably will go into this life, or it could go way into other past lives where we have had great difficulties. I mean, poor Galatea imploded. So if we were involved with that, that would have been quite devastating to be involved with.
Yeah, I've read that, the asteroid belt is a result of some planet imploding or exploding. I just wonder if that's the one.
Maldek. The asteroid belt is Maldek. No, I don't think it is Galatea, as a matter of fact.
Okay. Where did Galatea go to then?
I don't know, but are you familiar with Biblio, Pleiades, something, that occult library? Anyways, they'd be the ones most likely to have something on Galatea.
Okay, yeah.
But we could also research Golden Age of Gaia, because there might be more in one of the channelings.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, but she was sister planet to Gaia. It was also a practice in ascension, but the free choice was taken away. So, but Ashira said it was through good intention. We just didn't understand what was happening, what we were doing, I guess.
Yeah.
If we were involved.
We were trying to ascend, but we were making it the way they're treating vaccines. You gotta have a vaccine. And that is a violation of free will.
Yeah, making it mandatory. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't really relate to, EMFs from a past lifetime, and I think that's where my fear of EMFs comes from, because I was kind of taken out in one lifetime by that type of energy. So
Wow.
that's probably why, but I'm glad to hear that they've really modified and minimized the energy on the planet so far.
Yeah, and just to know that we're wrapped in cotton batting, that makes total sense to me. Well, this building that I'm in is like, I don't know, it's got a lot. My friend Julie from Seattle came up. Steve, you remember Julie?
Sure, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and she had a little machine to monitor and tell me how many EMFs were in this building. And she said she'll never come here again because it was so high.
Wow, eh?
Yeah.
No. Well, I have heard that the galactics are both ameliorating, moderating EMF and the vaccine's potency, both.
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're here to protect us. They're not, and this Porlana Sea is a gift of their life force for us. So if they can sustain themselves for hundreds of years, this is part of how they're doing it. Like we only live maybe 80 to 100 years, but originally we used to live much longer than that on this planet. Is that correct? Like hundreds of years.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So this Porlana Sea is partly how the galactics live much longer.
Well, they don't die or anything, dear. They just change their body if they want to.
Yes.
But they don't go through birth and death.
No.
Thank God.
But isn't that what this ascension is all about? for
Yeah.
us to get to that stage in our physical form.
Yes, that's
So
right.
yeah, so this Porlana C is what is helping with that as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So just breathing that blue purpley energy and listening to that meditation is very helpful, I have to say. I remember distinctly doing it over and over and over, not really understanding it. Now just reading over what he channeled back then, it makes so much more sense now.
Mhm.
So, okay, if you had a choice, which one would you do, the 13th octave or Porlana C?
Oh, Porlana C is only 8 minutes. So you
Okay.
can easily incorporate it into a day, like meditation. And I've heard that 13th octave is a great one to do right before you fall asleep. Porlana C, great one to do right when you wake up.
Okay,
Mhm.
cover both ends of the day then.
Yeah, yeah. And it's the blue energy within the green, because 13th octave is all about green. Well, the blue makes up half of green. The yellow and blue make green. So, and then being in that state where you're blessing everything all day long, that's the yellow energy. I mean, you can't go wrong. That's ascension.
I found it really interesting where they say it's very expansive to intergalactic proportions. And I'm starting to get that feeling right now, actually, in the last few months, that I've been asked to expand to that proportion, so,
Mm. Very
uh,
good.
especially in the reval as well.
Very good.
Mhm. It's funny when he was talking about that, I almost started crying when he started saying stewardship and coming like guardianship and stewardship. Like it brought up a lot of emotion in me. So I'm sure that we're here I'm not sure what that was all about, but yeah, that was interesting.
Hmm.
When he started talking intergalactic like that. Mhm.
Somehow I've managed to um, dilute the 13th octave, or compress it rather, into about 8 minutes, just because I've managed to, I've done this before with other things.
Mhm.
And so I think I'm able to do both just because of that. And I don't know if you guys can somehow learn to do that yourselves, but it would save some time.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you get to the point where you feel like you're connected all the time. Like I sort of feel like I'm connected no matter what I'm doing. Yeah. So not sure how to explain that, but
Yeah, that's true, Ken. I sometimes shorten the 13th octave meditation myself. I start in just before I start going up the stairs, to meet my council 13. And so that cuts off a whole bunch there.
Yep.
Very good.
yep, beautiful.
Gonna have to go, dear.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
Okay, Steve, take care.
Thanks
Bye.
for helping me with the details. My mind went completely.
You're welcome, dear.
Yeah.
Bye now.
So Paula, did you want to say something?
No, I've been suffering from a little bit of a sinus thing, but I've enjoyed this. I didn't even know it did, and so now I feel very uplifted.
Oh, good.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Okay.
I was having a lot of energy flowing through me these last few days, a ton of it through the
Yep.
night and everything. So
That's it.
physically feeling all the
Yep.
energy
Awesome. Really great.
going through, humming. Yeah.
Beautiful. And
But-
you've got a bit of a head cold. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
Can you hear it in my voice?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's connected to letting go of sorrow.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Mhm. And any like little bits of shame, depression, that kind of stuff.
Well, it's interesting. My sister and I are both going through this same thing,
Mhm.
So yeah, I didn't really stress out about it too much. I just been pumping a lot of vitamin C and D and zinc and a lot of water and
Good. Yeah,
but
you can turn it around. You can ask how it's connected and ask what you're letting go if you want the mental awareness. Sometimes it's helpful.
yeah,
Just ask,
yeah.
what is it connected to? Because it's always, whenever you catch a flu or cold, it's connected to the past.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, I'll do that.
Mhm. Good.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you for showing up. It takes a lot of guts to show up to these and be able to like allow the energy to just flow through us because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Thank you. Mhm.
I don't
Good.
know. Maybe that's why I'm so exhausted at the end of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
We are doing a lot of clearing. I think I'm doing a lot of clearing.
Yes.
So
And it's not just you, it's collective. So, because our
mhm.
fields have expanded, so we're helping many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there isn't anything particular that I'm thinking of, but I will ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
So
could be collective around your area.
my family has been hitting me up a lot. I'm the one that everyone's calling now
Okay.
to talk through things, which is great. I'm glad, that's part of why we're here, right?
Yeah. Excellent. That's
So
fantastic.
yeah. Yeah.
Good work.
Have you found that to be a burden?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay,
Actually,
good.
I do fine. I just maybe I got, I do notice that there's been a lot of energy moving through me. I can literally feel it. And I'm just really tired, like you said. And yeah, so it's okay. It's all good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important to take care of your body right now because of all the energy that's coming down on us. So we really have to be careful about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So on that note, I'm going to go so I can go get some rest.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Sounds good.
All
Good.
right.
Take
I'll
care.
talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Mhm.
Take care.
Yeah, you too.
You.
Stop the recording.
Okay. Oh, yes. Thank you. Oh.